to advanced classic, we would need to start working on the car immediately to match the competition because we're aiming for first place this year. So we'd be having club joining fees of $1,000 paid in 2 equal installments, or if you want to pay the $1,000 by the first date, I'm not going to say no to that. Company matching, if your company company's a donation matching policy, confirm if it's a ratio of 1 to 1, meaning if you put in 200, the company put in an additional 200, or if it's 1 to 2, meaning if you put in 200, the company would put in an additional 400. So involvement during the building, keep the calendar free. We're going to be mainly building during school holidays, so as we don't have to miss around with school or something like that. So just keep your holidays open for building the solar car. Share responsibility for dropping or picking up team members from the workshop. The workshop is going to be 30 minutes away. It's going to be 20 minutes away, yeah. So this is obviously going to be a long drive, so if y'all can carpool, that would help immensely. And for the parents, join every 2 months to discuss about the progress of the car. So involvement during the race is we'd ask 2 parents to stay with the team from July 16th to July 18th to buy any last minute parts for scrutineering. So if we miss up on a requirement, we can get someone to go and get that part or document immediately. Or we'd ask 3 to 4 parents to stay with the team and also drive with the team in the rental trucks while the car will be racing on the road. So that's going to be from July 19th to July 25th, which would be 6 days. And we need someone who can arrange for a vehicle which can tow the trailer with the solar car on top of it. If you're looking for a specific number, it's going to be around 1,200 pounds. That's going to be from July 16th to July 25th, which should be the entire race, including scrutineering and the race itself for 10 days.
We understand it's a lot. We're asking a lot of you, and we're extremely grateful for anything you can help us with.
So if y'all have any questions.
How much buffer planned versus actual? What was the gap last year in the expenses?
We roughly spent $20,000 on the car, but we are going to be revamping everything. We're going to be replacing with more advanced stuff, and also we're going to have to bear the cost of going on a cross-country race, like hotel fees, food is main expenses.
No. The question is you are saying about 44, right? 44K approximately.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is there a buffer to it?
We
need to add a buffer.
The amount we put in for each part includes a buffer. Like top end for the steering would be 1,000, even though we can probably get for 500. Just to include that space in there in case we could not get for 500, we pay 1,000.
I have a mentor for it. Do you have mentor since it was serious? Is there like a science teacher, range leader teacher?
So we have this. There's a dad, the team member who's already in college, who's willing to help us out. His name is Mr. Baldwin.
He has a lot of experience working on cars, and we're extremely grateful for his support.
Yeah, he helps with the mechanical side. However, if you know anyone that can help us with the overall electrical side of the car, since that's going to be a lot of our main focus for this year too, we need someone that could help as experienced in wiring together individual solar cells. So if you know anyone that
could reaching out to the local professors who may be specialists in electrical engineering.
Can you say that again? I couldn't hear.
Do you need help reaching out to the professors?
Oh,
Local professors.
that's something we're gonna do starting the meeting tomorrow. We're gonna
Oh.
start reaching out to people, asking them if they can help us with solar cell wiring. But if you know anyone, that would be.
So I have contacts with UT Arlington's race car team, and I can put you in touch with them.
That's what that means.
Bob Woods, if you know him, the name.
Bob Woods.
Bob Woods, Dr. Bob Woods.
Yeah.
I'm his colleague, and I'm sure he'll help. He can put you in touch with people on his team who can help you with specific things like electrical stuff.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's very big.
What's the difference between the classic and the advanced? That's what you guys will be
So this year, due to a change in the rules, we have to move up to advanced classic. So classics for beginner teams or just starting out, and to go into advanced classic, you need to be in the competition for I think 2 or 3 years now. So that's why 2 years.
So you met all those requirements. That's why you are.
Yeah, that's why we're moving up.
We just found about the rule change last week. That's why we're just scrambling to get dues in because.
I saw that you have a donation from Dassault. I'm assuming it's for SolidWorks.
Yes.
What about ANSYS?
ANSYS. So I checked on their website. We can just the download for the student version is immediately available on the website. We don't have to reach out to them for anything. They can just download the file from them and we'd be licensed already.
Got it.
So
What are you going to use the answers for?
ANSYS, we're going to use ANSYS for finite element analysis. So just making sure that the car can handle the journey. And also for computer flight computational fluid dynamics, just to see how.
Just test the aerodynamics of our design.
One more technical question. I know the weight of the car is important. You're trying to reduce it as much as you can. Are you guys considering making the chassis out of a composite?
So
Carbon
last year we
composite,
made it out of
fiber?
steel.
Yes.
But this year we're hoping to make it out of aluminum. But if you have any other ideas, please reach out to us. I think.
I don't know this myself, but I know professors at UT Arlington who may be able to help.
The main thing with composites is if we use anything other than like an alloy of steel, we would need to have to get the car crash tested, and we don't have the like facilities for that. I don't think around Coppell. That's the
I
main
see.
problem with it, and also the cost too.
I see.
Be spending.
So composite is out then?
Yeah, for another design consideration, composites out. We'd be mainly using aluminum for the overall
Okay.
chassis of the car.
How much time commitment, you said time commitment and professional, how much time commitment are you looking for from students?
So during the weekends, we'd probably be meeting around, not weekends, during.
During the school year, it's probably gonna be around 3 to 4 hours per week, meeting on Sunday.
On Sunday, yep.
But during summer, last year, we spent a huge amount of time working on the car, but hopefully we won't have to do that this year.
Because we're gonna be working during school holidays. So during holidays, I'd say around 8 hours every day, right? That would be good enough for the car. 8 around, just highball.
Highball, very highball.
Mhm.
You should definitely add buffer time because
Yeah.
last year
Yeah.
Yeah.
there were a lot of surprises, which learning lessons,
Mhm.
good things, but in your planning.
That's why we hope to, instead of building it just during summer, we hope to spread out the building from January. So it'll be less of a strain on our members.
For telemetry, what software do you plan to use?
For telemetry, we're planning on using Arduino that's connected to our battery. Our battery has the battery we're looking at automatically displays the what's it called? The battery information, like how much charge is going out from the battery, and then we'll be connecting the Arduino to the MPPT, which will display how much charge we're getting from the solar panels. And then we're going to be using something on the Arduino itself to measure the speed of the car, so we can see how much power we put into the motor versus how much like speed we get.
Okay. I was just thinking more around making sure like iteration after iteration, is it getting better, right?
Yeah.
You need some kind of feedback loop to
Yeah.
give that to you. And
Mhm.
Arduino will give that to you?
I think so. Yeah, I'm not mainly experienced in electrical stuff. If you want to ask somebody about telemetry after the meeting, or not, would be your guy for that.
Okay. Definitely.
So
We
yeah.
just had donations last year from a couple different companies,
Mhm.
not companies, but they sponsorship.
Yeah, sponsorship. That's why we allow livery in order to put their logos on the car.
Yeah, we used to have this year or?
Well, if we get sponsorships, of course we'll put their logo on the car.
Yeah, so we're gonna be reaching out to them. There are also some companies that sponsored us just to give us material parts. So that's gonna be on like a base like case to case deal with them. Like if we need a certain amount of metal, we're just asking for a sponsorship again. Hopefully they give it to us.
Right, with a discount.
Yeah, with a
They don't give it to us for free.
Yeah.
Also, all the parents, if you know anybody who is, sponsorships and things like that.
My cousin has a laser clad in Michigan. For our robotics group, we used to send all the 3D printed parts, so this is hard that, we can reach out.
That'd definitely be a improvement to our overall work tools. So
Have you started reaching out to companies like Boeing, just throwing an idea, just to see?
Yes, we've reached out to a couple companies. Of course, I think Boeing sponsors another car in the competition. We reached out to companies like McLaren. We reached out to a couple car dealerships. But yes,
It's
we
a very
reached
big
out.
company, they can sponsor like two.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just.
I think what will help is if you guys can actually show us, publish, share with us what you have done so far, right?
like a
For
newsletter.
sponsorship.
Yeah.
Yeah, like everyone that you have already done last year, a must, you have to ask them again, plus anything more. So we as parents can probably start incrementally adding what we think we should be able to reach out to as input, cash or kind, right? We can
Yeah.
differentiate that. We should be able to differentiate that.
And last year, it was a significant achievement by coming fourth, so
Mhm.
that's your kind of, like, this year you were moved to advanced level and.
Of course, yeah.
All the DFW area, the companies, there's a list of the socially responsible companies. So especially the DFW, you get many headquarters of many companies. It does not have to be the car related. whatever the headquarters, I mean, all the banks, Fidelity, a lot of people, and they all donate to
Yeah.
501c as a socially responsible thing to do, yeah. So, I think I gave Charlotte some formats of the applications of everything and all that. So write up the letters, put your presentation, put your case forward, and just start sending mass email to everyone, yeah, to their department.
Okay, that's what we've already talked to some of the sophomores about, sending emails to companies.
Yeah, that's a good thing about DFW area is like you got almost presence of every single company here.
Stick to Garmin, Toyotas and all that.
Yeah.
The whole Amazon fulfillment center, right?
Yeah.
So, any other questions?
How many minutes do you guys have right now?
Currently, we're gonna have
Yeah,
like
some of them they
around
would just-
20 to
Yeah.
21 members. I'm not sure about the last one, but yes, show any interest, so we might have to just
They used to have
Yeah.
something that
And
was-
so, and these membership fees were reviewed by October.
yeah.
You can go back to that.
Yeah, I'll go back to that one. I didn't, I've not been clear, so the due dates for the membership fees are gonna be October 31st and February 28th. So if you're gonna pay 500 by October 31st and pay the other 500 by February 28th.
But you can always pay it all in one time.
And actually, if you go back to your Excel sheet where you're tracking, right, when there is a company match or not, there's a lot of no's right
Yeah.
now.
Right, that's it, that
Yeah, and it's actually, you can reach out to the companies to say like, you can add your company as one of the donation receivers. So maybe we need to do a double check of what are those companies and can we still get a match?
Okay, so you mean to say that just yes or no, in place of that, add another column which says that
What
which
is the
company?
Right, because
Okay.
some of the parents, right, we can help
Uh-huh.
really figure out like, is it absolutely a no or
Mhm.
is it a maybe? Because that maybe is a big implication to your
Funding.
budgets.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I work for Fidelity, so they don't do a match because it's a 503 registered and there's no like school associated with it. So I'm planning to reach out and ask them. Like,
Yeah, right,
so those
you have to
kind of
maybe
things.
showcase.
Because they
what
do
have
200% match if it was a school sponsored. So
Yeah.
It's a double one, right?
it's a double the amount, right?
Yeah.
So,
But even without the match, they can just sponsor, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, so I'll reach out and try to figure out.
you can just use CISD name for school.
And I think you also had the Education Foundation.
Gopal Education Foundation, we talked about it, you said that they won't help, right?
It's new, if you wanna talk, I know you're bored.
I don't have $200 to give.
This is sorry, I can speak, I was part of the CES board now,
Oh, okay.
so, we don't fund the student organization, we actually expect them to give it to us, because we are also an organization.
I
We
see.
distribute the funds to the school campuses.
Okay, is there a way to get a dotted line into the school?
So if, because the school needs and the teacher, there is a grant proposal, and this teacher has to propose.
Okay.
So the funding pool is limited then, and it will only for the school. That's why the first question was it's CHS sponsored. Then a science teacher can put a grant saying that hey, we are doing this, then it can be approved through
So
CHS.
maybe we have to pursue that route. Like
Yeah,
maybe
that's why we need to have a engineering teacher, electrical, you have different departments which can get.
Yeah.
One of the science teacher can put the grant, then
Yeah,
kind of they
that's
sponsor
nice.
it. It helps to the fidelity, it helps to lots of.
A lot.
Right now, you're an independent organization to pitch outside for the circuits. Who is the organization or the
What's the
mentoring?
validity of that is questionable, right?
We are in contact with the engineering department at the high school. Unfortunately, they're not interested in like working with us.
There's one individual teacher though, I think he'd be willing to sponsor us, but we need to obviously double check with him, and just.
Yeah, you guys brought up a really valid point, wherever you approach, that they would want a figurehead who's an adult,
Yeah.
who is actually kind
Even
of.
to the it goes back to matching as well. The- Even though it's 501c3, if that organization supports what it
From
is.
school, yeah. Teacher or somebody.
So,
For the party, no?
Remember the
Celebration party, remember?
celebration party? Do you remember if there was a teacher that came?
From somebody came from CSD, for sure. Maybe or CHS.
Was it Marks or? I remember Marks.
There was, I have
Mark,
pictures.
he knows like Garner and everybody like that, but he is not part of CISD. He doesn't work with CISD.
So why is CISD not, okay, even if CISD doesn't have to pay any money, suppose like, alright, no money is needed from CISD. Why can't they still consider this club as a part of their school? I mean, I'm just
There was a clubs recently. Is it not one of the clubs that got approved?
So the main problem with that is every activity that we do outside of school, we have to register with what's it called CHS, and that would induce a lot of logistical red tape that we have to get through in order to like have our weekly meetings. So that's our main problem.
But also like becoming a club with CHS, this year like along with the phone ban, there were like some weird laws that came out, and there's a club meeting at CHS, and some of the things they were saying was that one, school clubs can't have their own bank accounts, and two, they can't have their own website. Solar Car has both of those, so that's kind of like it wouldn't be like compatible with being a school club.
And also on top of that, just want to add, one of the recent changes in the state legislature for clubs is that you can't like have to, it's really restricted on what clubs can and can't do. And as well as the fact that like I think Nikhil was saying, the engineering department doesn't really want to work with us. It's really not worth it for us to get too much into the school right now. 'Cause
Yeah, funny story. I think like 2 years ago when Ayush was the team captain, or 3 years ago, he reached out to like the head engineering teacher at CHS, Mr. Gardner, and Mr. Gardner just like shunned him away. He was like, "Oh, this seems pointless. This is like not something that's gonna work out." TSA is another club at CHS. He said, "Oh, TSA teaches the same qualities as this," and he's kind of like shunned away Solar Car. And like after that, it kind of like we were like, we don't want to be associated as much with Garmin specifically because he kind of like shunned us away.
Yeah, I think the challenge maybe is they, at the school level, they probably want the clubs to reach out to more students. They want it to be available, so the more nationally established TSA, that kind of stuff is obviously what they want to show, right? So that's why clubs that are more specific, like Solar Club, Quiz Bowl, those like or DI clubs, they don't get as much attention at school level because they end up being very target audience, and it's a very niche space, right? So that's not something. Then the school can show, hey, look at the reach I have. Like being part of CEF, they really find where there's no reach, right? You've been on CEF, I've been there. We've done fundraising for them. I did that for 3 years, and so it's hard then for those teachers to go out and raise funds for the club because they can't say, oh, it's like we're talking 20 kids versus we're talking about a school that has 4,000 students. So it's hard for them to make that case in that situation and then say, yeah, we're going to back you guys. We see the value, we know these kids are going to get, but we're still talking 20 kids in a room. That's going to be the teacher's challenge. That's going to be the RSD challenge, right? Not that we can't reach I'd still like reach the students to go partner with them, right? I understand there may be individuals in the department who are not crazy about Solar Car, but that's okay. Partner with the others who are, they may find you resources to work with, but they still have the connections. So one of the things I was gonna say is we should definitely get you guys to present to the board of trustees for Kapil ISD. I know a few of them, happy to get you guys in front of them, as well as even our Kapil city, right? We have our own community members, South Asian community members now on the council. Let's get you guys to go present to them, because again, that's where you can reach out to more businesses, get your name out there more. Another way for you to think about is do some philanthropic work, right? Go talk to Boy Scouts, because they all do derby. So it's like aspire them to what they can grow up and do, right? When you start them early. That's why I've been talking to you guys about going and doing this at the farmers market. And I know it's work to get that car out of that out of our backyard and to different places, but it's okay. It's going to be worth it, because the more you get your name out there, then these people may not immediately commit, but they may connect you with the right people. Because it takes 3 or 4 big donations that's going to get you where you need to be. But it's going to take a lot of work to get to those 3 or 4. It's not going to be easy, right? You're not going to sit here getting checks. There's one more thing you guys can do, right? All of this can be written knowledge. You can actually charge to teach it to like simple CAD skills, simple engineering principles. Yeah. Average 2 hours every day for 5 days. You can easily make. Yeah, but your skills to use,
Definitely,
right?
yeah.
You have to have different clubs that do work on different things of what you are doing, and that way you're gonna get more, yourselves out there and what Kapil Card is all about, and just I think that'll help a lot.
Need a lot of road shows, basically.
That's what I'm saying, right? Get yourself out there. It's hard, I understand that, but that's where we're all here to help you guys. If it means for a weekend where one of us will go rent a car with a trailer, hitch,
you have access to the trainer, let's do it, that's fine.
South Lake and Grapevine are again very niche places to show up.
Yeah,
Lot of wealthy residents. So,
yeah.
yeah.
I remember at the go-kart place, I was thinking if you guys should maybe even talk to those go-kart type companies, right? They may be,
We're sponsored,
yeah, for a sponsorship. It's gonna be a lot of tangible work right now, let's just get out there.
Solar cells, where are you guys gonna power that?
We still haven't found out that. We're mainly focused on motor and battery, and then we'll just expect some solar cells.
So yeah, we had one of our old team members, Ayush, the previous captain. He had about I think 16 of those like at his house. So he taught us those to us, and we tested them all of them work. So if we can find the same model that he had, we're just gonna try to like buy the same solar cells. But we need to get in contact with him.
Those companies who are actually making it and see like, you know.
Sponsorships, yeah.
Sponsorships or even
Right,
like.
like
Yeah,
you guys said,
for us,
it's
but-
product related,
Yeah.
not money.
Like last year, even on top of the about 23K that we had to raise, we got a lot of like metal, and I think even the livery was also partially sponsored. A lot of stuff we did was through sponsored products themselves.
Yeah.
Working
Same
a lot
thing with like
companies.
services, like last year we worked with a welder, who capped our fee at $1,000. So we only had to pay them $1,000 for all the work they did, which I assume was like a lot more than $1,000 worth of work.
What kind of batteries are you guys thinking of using?
Oh, so for our division, we're only allowed to use either lead acid and lithium iron phosphate. So we're leaning towards we're gonna buy lithium iron phosphate again this year
Okay.
from the same company, Epoch.
I know a battery manufacturing company. I can reach out to them and see if they're interested in donating cells.
Do they custom build like batteries, or do you know?
They can custom build individual
yeah,
cells
Definitely custom.
and battery packs.
Yeah, because one of our things is that a lot of the new motors we're looking at this year are around the 72-volt mark, and obviously they come with DC to DC converters, but we would prefer to not have to buy like a 48-volt or
Okay.
yeah. So definitely custom.
Yeah, I can help with that.
I think that applies to all parts, right? If there's a specification, if we can shoot it out to all parents. Almost like a GoFundMe, but a GoFundMe for parts. Right?
Yeah, definitely. If you know anybody who might be helpful or adding contacts, please feel free to reach
So
out.
should we float an Excel sheet where we can go and say that, okay, we can help on this and this and this kind of thing?
Yeah, even like a Google form might be helpful for that.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
we can definitely
What
set that
will
up.
help is in that same Excel sheet, start creating different tabs for
Tabs, yeah.
parts
Yes.
and what are the popular companies, and then if parents know someone, they can also add.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a list
Major
of
components, major cost, they all should be 4 or 5 tabs.
Yeah, definitely.
Is there a list of companies that are known to have matching? If we can put that up in the Excel sheet,
Like company matching or
I'm looking for a list of companies that are known to have, that are known to do one-to-one matching.
there's a website I think that has a database.
If you
of-
can put all the list there,
Yeah.
then the parents can look at it and say, oh, I work here, or I know somebody who
Yeah.
works
Yeah.
there.
I mean, most of
Yes.
them, if you ask your HR, they will tell you.
Right, but what I'm saying is if there's already a well-known list of companies that do it, then we
Yeah,
can start
definitely.
from there, rather
This year
than the
we
other
wanna-
way around.
We also want to focus this year on like building a good relationship between both the students and the parents, because what happened last year was it was almost a little bit disconnected at some points where it was just the kids going to work. So we want to communicate a lot more with you guys this year. So yeah, that's definitely part of it.
Do you have to pitch your design process as part of the
Yeah, so there's a before this race, apart from scrutineering, there's you have to make a video before explaining the design process, all the design changes you made, just the car itself, and then during the competition itself, there'll be an interview where you have to give a presentation about the car. Again, the same design process, the changes you made, everything you decided for the car, and then there'll be like a couple of questions. There'll be judges asking you questions about your design decisions. Yeah.
So just asking a question because in preparation for that, right? You can't speak a sentence these days without AI.
Yeah.
Somehow we have to make sure that there should be some aspect of machine learning modeling. Either telemetry or even the efficiency of FIA, whatever you're saying, right? FEA, right? Yeah. Some part of it, like wherever we can incorporate.
Yeah. Yeah, telemetry is definitely something we're looking to as well, because I feel like
Yeah.
a feeling was last year that our setup was very, very unoptimized. I'm sure Pranav will tell you.
Very
But,
primitive.
Yeah, so this year we want to focus on making it as robust as possible, to making it to where like there's no chances to get penalties where the driver doesn't know what's going on. He has to make a rash decision or
Yeah.
anything like
Yeah.
that.
So if you kind of connect the dots, right? Like
Yeah.
reaching out to folks on LinkedIn, potentially that work with Tesla, Rivian, those electric cars, especially looking for telemetry engineers,
Yeah.
and their feedback into your process on, hey, how can I incorporate what you're learning on job to my project,
Yes,
right?
definitely, yeah.
Is that part of, which work stream is that part of?
The telemetry, so,
No, I mean, reaching out to the industry professionals, is that a work stream or?
yeah, so right now we're focusing on, we haven't really started designing yet, so we've been focusing on emailing companies, we're connecting with LinkedIn, especially if, like any parents, family connections, or people they know, getting into contact with those people. So as of now, that's our main focus, and then as we'll go, we'll have probably a set dedicated people who will be working on that alongside design or stuff like that. Yeah.
So did you decide that which parts we are going to use for which of the components?
We haven't fully decided yet, so we're still looking at
What we are asking as a that's what we are asking is what are the companies you think they are going to invest? You can list out that companies for each and every parts. So if anyone knows that company, right, so we go back and
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think that's something the other brands are saying, create an Excel document of like companies where either need parts or like a company, yeah. Well,
And
I
know
feel like
that
it's
as you
that-
are going to your design phase, that's when it's probably gonna get more solidified, right?
Yeah.
So just, like, you're right, as you're going through it, put it to the same Google file, create a couple of tabs.
at least you can start designing whichever parts you know.
Yeah.
You can start putting that and then while designing you can keep on.
100%. Yeah.
Are you guys gonna registering for the solar car challenge also schedule some kind of workshop?
Yes,
Yeah, there's a couple workshops.
There's
One
two
on,
workshops at the.
So yeah, there's 2 workshops. One is happening September 13th next week. So we're planning on taking me, Arav, and a couple others to go there. And then there's also one in January that's more centered around the actual like, electrical and mechanical parts of the car. So we're also going to go there.
Yeah.
And that workshop's a couple days long.
Oh, we already registered for the September 13th
Yeah.
workshop.
The registration for the other one. The other one's in January. And that one hasn't opened yet. The first one is more about like team building, very basic level stuff you need for the car.
Just information about the race itself, how time schedule is going to work out, how long are we going to be running for, how much time we have to recharge, so we can input that to our design considerations.
So, I think I'd suggest like as other guys were saying that try to set a deadline for your preliminary BOM. Okay, once you have your preliminary BOM, at least even if it's 80% correct, that's fine. But set a target, because that's what you need to have a preliminary BOM, alright? Once you get your bill of material, usually, okay, top 10 parts, doesn't matter if that's 200 parts in it, 500 parts in it. Usually top 10 to 15 parts will cost like 80% of the BOM. Other one is like, small changes, okay? And then once you select the suppliers for those top 10 parts, then whoever knows all the suppliers or whoever supplier contact, second contact, third contact.
Yeah.
And then they can approach those suppliers and see if they willing to donate that part, yeah? And if that covers it, so I think the BOM is very important, otherwise you're shooting the dark at that point.
Yeah.
Okay, so the preliminary BOM, even without the design, you should be able to come up with, based on your specification, so no design is needed.
That's a good, and also,
Yeah.
I think they should have plan A, plan B, plan C with the budget, like, okay, I have 20K, that's what I've raised, max, what can I build? I have 40K, that's max, what can I build? So you need to have that A, B, C kind of a
Yeah.
backup plan.
Because
like,
things could
okay,
go wrong.
Yeah, things could go wrong, we could not do A for 40K, but you only ended up like 30, how are we gonna manage?
Yeah, definitely.
Something to think about.
Yeah, especially with the bill of materials, you need to have the alternate options.
Yeah.
If this part is too expensive or not available, then go with the next one.
Is there a minimum number of team members and a maximum team size?
There is not a maximum team size. Minimum number of team members I think would be around 3. We obviously surpassed our requirement. The main problem with team size is when it comes to bringing people to competition, because as I said, they only give you 15 IPs for free, including parents. So we'd have to, if we get above like 20, I'd say, which we're reaching right now, we're gonna have to start like adding like some sort of requirement for going to the race itself. Like how much hours have you put in? How much, like how dedicated are you? Yeah.
No, but if there's somebody who's willing not to go there, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at least some people may just would happy that, okay, some work that they contribute, at least they're part of the project, and but with that caveat that they won't be able to go to the competition other than the core member team. So So you can always declare a core member team, and the other members we understand, like calling a associate member or whatever you
I
wanna
mean,
call it, yeah.
in all honesty, like, they can tell you how wonderful the race was, but I unfortunately was out of town for that actual
Yeah, I
time.
think
of the race
Charles
last
was
year.
out of town, we were also. out of
Yeah,
town
so,
for the last
but
couple of days.
in my opinion, the best part about Total Car was actually the experience of building the car and spending the time to intricately wiring or like building the dashboards. Like the stuff you do to build the car, that's the best part I'd say about the competition itself.
Experience which
Yes.
you gain
Yeah,
throughout the
experience.
process.
So at the end of the day, some people aren't able to get to the race. Obviously, that's not like preferable, but it might be something that has to happen. Yeah.
So yeah, it's experience for sure. I was there when they were doing the scrutinizing thing, and it's like it's good to see how kids they always had problems. Good to see how they come up with solutions on the spot and fix things. It was
Divided us
Yeah.
yeah.
How do you organize the team? I mean, you have different.
Yeah. So you can.
So basically what we're thinking about doing this year is just splitting it up into two sides, one being mechanical, one being electrical, and also creating a smaller subcategory of like business, like handling bank accounts, handling fees,
Handling emailing other companies and such.
just fundraising, that type of stuff.
And then like within those mechanical and like electrical big sections will like specialize and will like if for example the electrical there'll be people specifically working on the auxiliary 12 volt system, people working on the high voltage system, people working on telemetry. So we can kind of specialize and while we don't want to be to where like different people don't know anything about the car, we want to make sure
one area, but
yeah, we want to
make
be
it at least
efficient in building. Yeah.
not focus on a specific area.
We don't have one person just doing everything.
Yeah.
So
Any other questions?
I think just take advantage of all these parents, because over here, I think all of us are in some